Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Caroline and I'm a junior doctor working in the UK. I make videos documenting my journey towards becoming financially independent. If that interests you, then please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about 5 tips and habits that you can use to help you save money. These are all tips that I've used and they've helped me to save money and to keep on track with my financial journey without falling back into credit card debt. Before I start, I want to say that I took inspiration from this video from a couple of channels here on YouTube that I absolutely love, such as Money with Gab and Camille Colazzo, who are 2 American YouTubers that I recommend you check out after watching this video. I'll leave a link to both of their channels in the description box below. So let's get started. Tip number 1, track your spending. In order to save money, it's important to know how much you're currently spending. A good way to do this is to go through at least 3 months worth of bank statements and split your money into categories. How much money are you spending on food? How much money are you spending on eating out? How much money are you spending on transportation? As soon as you know how much you're spending in each category, it's going to be easier to identify areas in which you can cut down your expenses and actually save more. If going through all your bank statements doesn't sound like something you're willing to do, you could just focus on one area at a time to track. So you could think of your biggest expense and find a creative way of cutting that back. So apart from housing, food is actually an expense that lots of people overspend in, and it can be quite interesting and even fun to find different ways of cutting down your food budget. So if you try tracking that every day for a month, you might see that you're spending lots of money on takeaways, and you can try to maybe cut that back. So if you're having takeaways multiple times a week, you can just try to have it once a week instead. Or if you're spending lots of money buying lunch at work, then you can try making your own lunch to take with you or having some leftover dinner for lunch instead. If you can, going forward, try to just use one bank account or one card to pay for all of your purchases. That way you don't have to go through multiple bank statements when it's time to track your spending. Tip 2, always pay yourself first. When I first started my financial journey, I asked my friends how much they saved each month. The reply I got most often was, "Oh, I just save whatever's left at the end of the month." So this isn't really the right way to save. As I've learnt more, I found that if you're serious about saving and you have saving goals in mind, you need to start saving your money first. So after tracking your expenses, you should roughly know how much you spend each month and what you can cut back on. The next thing to decide is how much money you can actually save each month and commit to this. When you get your paycheck at the beginning of the month, put that money aside first before anything else. Pay yourself before paying any bills, before buying any food. A standing order is the best way to do this, and you don't even have to think about it or to remember to do it. It also takes the emotion out of it, so you don't have to save when you feel like it. You're just saving automatically that certain amount every single month and it's going straight into your savings account. Tip number 3, the 48-hour rule. If you see something that you want to buy, don't get it straight away. Instead, wait for 48 hours. A lot of the time, you forget that you even wanted it in the first place. Sometimes, the time even allows you to think about if you really need it or if you can really afford it. If in 48 hours you still really want the item, you can go back and buy it. A lot of us can wait more than 2 days or just 2 days to purchase something. So I'll give you an example of this. I went to look for a TV for my flat. I didn't have a TV previously, and I barely watch TV, but there's a blank space on the wall, so I just thought maybe I'll have a TV. I saw the TV that looked okay in the shop. It was about £500, but I thought, you know what, let me just think about this. Let me go home, I'll take 2 days and decide if I actually want it. I'm glad I didn't buy the TV straight away, because when I got home, the first thing I did was put on Netflix or YouTube, which is what I always watch anyway. And I did that on my laptop. I've been doing that for years and it's been fine for me. So this waiting 2 days actually saved me over £500. This rule will also save you from making impulse purchases. Try it, and if you slip up and make an impulse purchase without applying this rule, See if you can keep it in its bag or keep it in its packaging for a couple of days with the receipt. And if you actually don't use it or realise you don't need it, you can always return it. Most items can be returned within 28 days with the receipt, but make sure you check the returns policy before buying. Tip 4. Start a side hustle. In order to save more money, sometimes this means making more money. This tip requires a lot more effort than the other ones, but it also can be quite rewarding. There are plenty of side hustles you can do to make money, and this could be things like getting a second job or starting your own business. Think about the things that you're good at or the things that you enjoy and consider if you could turn this into making some extra money. For example, if you're a teacher, perhaps you could make some extra money tutoring online or babysitting. Or if you're a good driver, perhaps you could be a delivery driver or drive for Uber. There are so many side hustles that you could attempt, and they don't always have to involve trading your time for money. Just remember to save any extra money that you have and not to spend more because you're making more. Tip number 5, and that is be less social. This is a bit controversial, but being less social can sometimes go hand in hand with saving more money. If you're trying to cut expenses and you're working more hours, or you have a side hustle as well as your day job, you might not have the time or the money to socialise as much as you did before. Find budget-friendly ways of catching up with friends to socialise without breaking the bank. You don't have to always say yes to cocktails and bottomless brunches with the girls to have a fun social life. Get creative, have a cocktail night indoors. Take turns to cook for each other, go for walks in the park. Don't forget to have a little bit of fun while you're saving though, and definitely do set aside some money for fun. You do only live once, remember that. Well, that's the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed the tips and that you can use them to help save money towards your goals. Thank you so much for watching, and please like the video if you liked it and subscribe for more videos like this.